Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadroo.com. With your morning horn of disease, your sip of chaga coffee. Oh, I bought some Theta this morning. Yes, in the United States. I bought some Theta in the United States this morning. Binance.us now has Theta for sale, Theta Fuel for sale, and you can take it off the exchange. Big news. This is big news. I know a lot of people in the United States have no idea what Theta is, even if you're in cryptos, but it is a technology company that also has a cryptocurrency component. Samsung's in there, Sony's in there, Google's in there, everybody's in there, and it has been destroyed price-wise, but it went up too high too soon price-wise. This is a long-term hold for me. I've done a zillion analyses on this crypto, on this tech company. It is the future of the internet. That's a pretty big deal. So go check out the private road at Road to Root. I have a Theta page. But good news for all you people living in America who was just completely frustrated that Theta, the best crypto out there, was not available, has not been available for years in the United States. Binance.us, at least for now, has it available. They have a massive stock of it. They have 60 million Theta tokens. I think it's 60 million that are staked. They can always pull those stakes off. They're not going to run out of Theta. And they have massive amounts of Theta Fuel and T-Drop. They are the largest exchange in the world. The rest of the world of Binance US, should have no problem getting all the Theta, and you'll be able to take it out of there and get it into your own wallet. That's the most important thing. And we teach you that at the private road on roadtoroot.com. Theta was down at like 70 cents last night. I wanted to buy it last night, but of course they didn't start trading until this morning. But now it is trading. It is up and available. Binance US, and Theta price is $1.89. I'm not saying they're not going to stick the price of Theta down at minus $40. These are all fake. These are all fake prices. Just like the stock market's fake, and I'll get to that in a second. The bond market's fake. The crypto market's fake. The gold and silver markets are fake. All markets are fake now. They can click a mouse and send any price to minus $40. They did it with the largest commodity on planet Earth, oil, just to show you, just to prove to you that they are all powerful. This is the time when prices don't make sense. There will be times, and it's coming very fast, and we've seen it a little bit, when you will be able to see the price of a commodity, but you won't be able to get it. You'll get quoted, you'll buy some silver at, say, $20, and they'll say, okay, yeah, we're getting it next week. And then they'll say, no, the next week, the 3 weeks, and you'll never get it. And then you'll panic to buy it. You'll go to your local coin shop because they have it there, and you'll have to pay triple what you paid the guy online. That type of stuff is on the way. So just be prepared for it. I've been screaming this for a long time. Get on the sidelines. Get your assets in your own possessions. Set up your lawn chair and watch the insanity. This is what the insanity looks like. So hang in there. Silver price is under $22. Great time to buy silver as well. Yes, silver is the same deal. You can't buy silver at $21.91. This is a fraud. This is America. Now, let's talk about the fraud that's going on the stock market. Stock market futures were down, and something happened. Something happened to jump the stock market futures. Oh, my God. What could it be? What could it be? Futures soar after a report that David Tepper covers his NASDAQ Treasury short. And who said this? Of course, it's Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer. Oh, my God. You know it's illegal to rig the stock market? It's illegal to promote false information because you're trying to save the stock market. Jim Cramer gave this announcement of one of the biggest stock traders in the world, David Tepper, who has been short. He's a big short. He covered his short, he's saying, because he got it on Twitter. And I don't blame Jim. Everybody knows what Jim is. He's a stock rigger. The insanity of the media in this interview. Listen to his little dweebs saying, "Oh my God, this is gigantic news," trying to make it bigger. And Jim's saying, "Oh, this is not that big a deal." He doesn't say that, but listen to his voice. This is a game. This is a game. I wrote about this game. I'll get to that after this. But listen to what the interview said to make the stock market jump.
Here we go. Green arrows this morning. Should we feel good about this or not?
Well, I mean, for a trade, absolutely. I was talking to my friend Dave Tepper, who's been short. He came in, covered a short on the NASDAQ. Again, he is a trader. Yeah, he feels that the sell-off could be concluding. What he really is focused on is that if we get down to S&P 3,600, 3,500, he's not going to be a trader. He's going to be an investor. He feels that the four sellers have equal bottom and that it really is a great time to be able to take a shot. I like what he's saying.
Wait a second, Jim, back this up. In case people aren't paying enough attention, this is important. You just talked to him?
In case people aren't paying enough attention, this is important. Not that you're can do your own analysis, but this woman tells you when Jim Cramer says something that his friend is doing, you better take it as important. This better jump the futures on the stock market.
Yeah, I just talked to him this morning a couple times. He's been short.
So she's saying this is the most important thing. He's like, oh yeah, well, I just talked to my friend a couple times. It's no big deal, This is such bullshit. This is such a joke. Keep listening.
He's been short the bonds, covered the bonds short. Really feels it's kind of interesting trade here. I just think that I'm not going to go against him. I think he's just too smart. And this is a major decision. Major decision to covering the NASDAQ was just a really great short. So I think he's worth listening to.
Petterfee said yesterday.
Yeah.
He said 3,600. You see that? Jim Thomas Petterfee is on and said the S&P goes to 3,600.
Right, and NASDAQ he thinks holds at 12,000. 10-year 2.9 to 3.2. But again, he's a trader. But I think it's worth noting that he's a great trader, and he is probably about 4% long, no more than that, maybe 25 when he finished today. But I think it really matters. And I think that it says that you have a good bounce here. There's a lot of stocks that I think are being forced down.
Look at Jim Cramer's mannerisms. Oh, remember when Bear Stearns was going down? He's like, "Oh my God, this is like..." He's trying to play it down. He's like, "Oh yeah, my friend Jim Cramer," and then the announcers are saying, "This is the most important news."
I'm looking over, but they would absolutely. There would be a scramble just because Tepper's been so good and so vocal. I want to emphasize again, this is a covered short, but he thinks 12,000 holds in the NASDAQ, and that's a pretty meaningful call. And 3,600, 3,500, he's not a trader. He's a buyer of the S&P. So this is a major change for the man.
I mean, I go back to the days of the Tepper tantrum, calling it right. The entire time we've been watching the Fed. And this is, once again, the Fed totally in play. Does that come into any of this, or is this just we sold off so much?
He thinks you want to cover his bond short. So, I mean, obviously he thinks that they overshot.
They overshot. We have inflation raging. We're going to get a new inflation print tomorrow, I think. Inflation raging at 8.5%. That's just what they tell us. And the Fed overshot with a 0.5% raise to 1%. That math doesn't add up. This is so ridiculous. And let me show you. And watch the other broadcasters say, "This is the greatest thing ever." Because Jim Cramer's not allowed to say that because he said it with Bear Stearns and everybody lost their ass and he got in trouble.
He had been pretty vocal against bonds. Didn't like, of course, when Fed Chief Powell said, "Hey, 75 is off the table." He thought that was idiotic. I thought that was very ill-advised. There's no reason to do it. But this is a major change for him. And I speak to Dave quite a lot, and I know he's been very, very negative. So this is a big trading cover. So and if it goes down more, he wants to go long.
So NASDAQ goes back. It's at where it closed, and the NASDAQ 11.6 or so. So he thinks this is an important level right here. It goes back.
He
above
thinks
12,
it's a very, very important
and
level.
it goes back above 12 and stays there.
Yes.
So we don't
and
go
that's
below
why he
11.
wants to cover.
Okay.
No, it's up at 12. I mean, yeah, he thinks it goes higher. I have to tell you, I think it's a very meaningful call. Let me just see, get a lot extra.
So I love this part. He looks at his text and see if there's anything extra, and he doesn't see anything, and he just starts saying the same thing. Watch this.
I don't know. I mean, I think this is just him talking to me just from background. I don't want to violate anything, but I know that
I don't want to violate anything. I want to rig the market, the futures market higher, but I don't want to violate anything. This is insane.
I like it here. He likes it here.
Wow. This is big news, Jim.
Well,
and I think people are going to be paying attention because Tepper has called it right a lot of times.
This is panic, my friends. But here's the thing, and I've seen this before. In 2009, after the 2008 crash, we hit a bottom in, I think it was March 2009. On the day we hit the bottom in 2009 in the stock market, I posted back when I used to write articles, this article on Road to Ruta, U.S. Operation Confidence Con. March 12th, 2009. The mission: to restore the underlying false confidence in our economic and monetary systems, thus continuing the dominance of the global financial power elite. Plan of attack. Now, back then, they knew we either pull out all the stops or the stock market's going to just keep going down. So they pulled out all the stops, including market manipulation, the media, all the central banks around the world, even the president was involved. This is a tiny, ridiculous thing that'll last maybe 2 minutes. Back then, number one, this was the Operation Confidence Con set up by Tim Geithner, the U.S. Treasury Secretary at the time. Start by having the president tell the investing public to buy stocks because they're cheap. This is what they did in 2009. And this is how I knew this happened on all this same day. It was March 12th. Number two, slam the gold and silver markets using traditional COMEX paper rigging operations to hide the truth about the condition of the U.S. dollar and the fact that the world is quickly running out of both physical metals. Number three, have CEOs of major banks such as Citigroup and JP Morgan announce that they have had a great first 2 months of the year, excluding losses in mortgage portfolios, credit card portfolios, credit default swaps, and other toxic derivatives. Number four, have the plunge protection team flood the markets with stock buy orders to flush the shorts and bring along the perma bulls like lemmings. Number five, this was all done on this day. Float rumors of ending mark-to-market accounting and reinstating the uptick rule to fry the short traders. Number six, have GM announce that they don't need the extra $2 billion in March. Number seven, have the Muppets on financial TV programs proclaim that the bottom is in and it's a safe time to go back in the investing waters. This is what Jim Cramer is doing right here, and the people at CNBC. They are freaking out because they went down like 10% or whatever the stock market's down. They can't have that. They lose all credibility, so they're trying to do Operation Confidence Con with just them instead of the president, instead of the Treasury. Introduce restrictive mining laws that would destroy all hard rock mining operations in the U.S. so the banking cabal can cover their naked mining share shorts. That's what they did back then. Number nine, downgrade GE to AA+ and declare it's a good thing, giving them a stable outlook and goose their share price that no one thinks there's anything wrong. Number 10, do anything and everything you can except never show the true fragile state of the monetary system with over a quadrillion dollars in derivatives that have yet to be resolved. There's now over 2 quadrillion of derivatives. So that was the plan back then. And then I followed up with an article just a few days later called Tim Geithner Plans Sustained Market Manipulation. I said, this is going to go on for as long as possible. Settle in for a long-term market rigging operation. And here's some quotes from Tim Geithner that he gave that day. This is like a couple weeks later. The market will not solve this, and the great risk of us is that we do too little and not too much. Now we have hyperinflation. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for starting. He didn't start it. It started in 1913. But anyway, another quote. To get through this, governments need to act. Great obligation, responsibility for governments to act to solve these things. Whatever happened to free fair market trading? Great responsibility for the government to act and rig markets. This is insane. So this whole bullshit here with Jim Cramer, Might last 5 minutes. I'm not quite sure. 6 minutes, 7 minutes. It's not Operation Confidence Con. You need everybody on board. If Dave Tepper is really trading, he told Jim so that Jim would say this on the air so he can continue to short as the market jumps on that news. This is a game of survival for these assholes, and they are criminal market riggers. Jim Cramer said it himself. I don't want to say too much to get in trouble. Maybe if I hold my head down and talk quietly, they won't think I'm trying to rig it. He's the worst poker player in history besides Jamie Dimon. Anyway, that's where we all are today. It's just insane. We live in an insane world. If you're smart, you have your assets, you're sitting on the sidelines, you got your lawn chair, you got your chug of coffee, and you're sitting there saying, I can't believe this shit is happening. This is Bix Weir. By the way, you can go to roadtoroota.com to the Theta page. On the private road, the Theta page teaches you how to buy, store, and stake Theta. Right now, the buy is through Caleb and Brown, which is great. If you have a Caleb and Brown account, that's an awesome way to buy. But now if you live in the U.S., you can buy on Binance.us. It's very simple to set up an account and get going on that. And then on the Theta page, we teach you how to store it properly, get it off Binance US and into a Trezor or Ledger hardware wallet and just hang on for dear life. All right? And if you join the Road to Ruta private road today, we are giving away one silver Ruta coin, the coolest coin in the history of the world. It's the only place you get it. Double strike with each is individually numbered and hand-painted heart in the middle of Ruta's t-shirt. The coolest coin ever. We have a real awesome blue case, too. So there you have it. And certificate of authenticity. Don't forget that. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.